Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. May Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai's peace be bestowed unto you, hopefully elect. I'm your brother Yahweh Call from Great Millstone, Orlando, and it's pretty much just be a quick hit. It was just inspired through the Spirit after brothers were fellowshipping yesterday. And the point that a brother Ariel was making, just going into when it comes to as the Lord refers to his little ones, or as he refers to his elect as the little ones, and you see the apostles and how they stress heavily about the importance of the elect, fishing for the elect, because everything is, as the scriptures talk about, ultimately the winds of destruction, the nuclear destruction that is, the angels are holding back these leaders of these different nations from pressing those red buttons, because the elect have to be sealed if they're not already, or they have to get to a certain level of perfection in the eyes of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai before Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai gives that green light for this nuclear destruction. So the elect have to be sealed. All right, but it just goes to show you how detailed the Heavenly Father is. All right, I'm gonna go to this in Luke. And this is why the world didn't end. The end didn't come back in 2000, back in 2007, right? And hell, for certain of us, we thought 2020 was the end. For us younger brothers, we thought 2020, we thought this was going to be it. We thought for sure we were going to be in the kingdom by now. But there's still work that needs to be done. There's still elect out there that need to be gathered. So going to this here in Luke 15 and 4, what man of you having 100 sheep, if he lose one of them, doeth not leave the 99 in the wilderness and go after that which is lost until he find it? And when he hath found it, he layeth it on his shoulders rejoicing. And when he cometh home, he calleth together his friends and neighbors, saying unto them, Rejoice with me, for I have found my sheep which was lost. So pretty much, again, as I said, forsaking all the other sheep to find this one little bit. It says, I say unto you that likewise joy shall be in heaven over one sinner that repenteth, more than over 99 just persons which need no repentance. Verse 8, either what woman having 10 pieces of silver, if she lose one piece, doeth not light a candle and sweep the house and seek diligently till she find it? So you talk about going out of your way, above and beyond, for this one little piece of silver, which again, it goes to show you how precious the elect are in the eyes of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai. All right. It says that when she hath found it, she calleth her friends and her neighbors together, saying, Rejoice with me, for I have found the piece which I had lost. So again, just stressing the importance of the little ones, which again, refer to Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai refers to his elect as the little ones. All right. Because it's all about the gathering of the elect. And again, this is why the apostles, the elders, they stress wholeheartedly the importance of the elect, the elect, the elect. All right. Because we can't get up out of here until the elect get sealed. All right. Now we are definitely close with everything that's going on in the world, because for the sake of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai, for his own name's sake, and for the sake of the elect, this is why things are moving. So we know that we're close. All right. But even with that being said, you know, because it's still a thing of being tried, refined. Like I said, the elect have to reach a certain level of perfection, satisfaction, so to say. We all have to get to a point to where Yahweh Bashim Shai, he's satisfied with us, so that we can go from this glory to glory, from faith to faith. The Lord really get the ball rolling on this thing. So I'm gonna go to this. Because man, it's bigger than us. I always say it's bigger than us. It's bigger than how we feel. It's bigger than our emotions. All right. And as we know or should know, Yahweh Bashim Shai, he uses us, puts us through certain trials and tribulations, not just for ourselves. He uplifts us so we can uplift the next man. So this is why I'll go to this in Romans. Romans 6:13. Neither yield ye your members as instruments of righteousness unto sin, but yield yourselves unto the Most High power, as those that are alive from the dead, and your members as instruments of righteousness unto the Most High. And Salakia, because I had the Bible up here up on screen, but this thing it loves giving me a hard time, so I'm just going to use my tablet. So again, in Romans 6:13, neither yield ye your members as instruments of righteousness. Matter of fact, okay, so now let me try this. Lord's will, it doesn't give me a hard time. So let's do this. Salakia, Romans 6. Romans 6:13 again. Neither yield ye your members as instruments of unrighteousness unto sin, but yield yourselves unto the Most High, as those that are alive from the dead, and your members as instruments of righteousness unto the Most High. So basically, just let Yahweh Shema Shai use you. All right. Again, Yahweh Shema Shai tries and refines us, not just for our growth and development, but the Lord, again, he uplifts us to uplift the next man, the next brother, as we are all building blocks in his third temple, which is spiritual, that's being built. All right. So let the Lord use you. And that's one thing that I pray whenever something pops up, whenever something happens. I pray to Yahweh Shema Shai to, of course, you get me out of this. You give me what I need to get out of this, whether it be patience, more faith, whatever virtue. And may this be utilized for the body, for brothers. That's a part of my prayers. As I get through this, as you get me through this, may this be beneficial as well for the next man, for the next brother. Because I promise you, and this has happened, being younger in the faith, right? You counsel with brothers, ask certain questions and things of that nature. But as you get built up, I promise you, those same questions that you had, those same thoughts and, all things of that sort, man. Those brothers come up under you asking those same questions. So it's just beautiful how Yahweh Shema Shai, how he has it, how everything comes together. And as I read, that's why, yielding ourselves to the Spirit rather than the flesh. Because a part of being in the flesh, man, a part of being in the flesh is like, damn, why me? Well, why not you? And again, to me personally, it's a selfish attitude, because again, the Lord will use you. You're not going through what you're going through just for you. You're not going through what you're going through just for you. Just, again, it's not about us and how we feel. So that's why, another thing, man, praying to Yahweh Shema Shai to continue to feed me, that I may feed the flock. Because again, that's the point. And this is what it's all about. It's about the flock. All right. We might sit here and think that, we're ready. We want this to be over with already, as our apostles and bishops and elders have felt. All right. Years ago, we're catching hell and things of that nature. But hey, there's still members of the elect that have to get, the Lord has to reactivate them. So this is what this is about, man. 2 Edges 8. This is why we don't waste our time with Christians or anything like that, man, where we're not out here to debate or anything of that nature. We're just simply fishing for the elect. All right. We live our lives. We keep our head down, while we're here. We just do what we need to do. Being circumspect, right? Wise as serpents, harmless as doves. All these things and whatnot. We just keep our head down, man. And as the Lord continues to increase us, we continue to increase in the spirit. Hey, again, a part of my prayers, Yahweh Shema Shai, give me what I need to continue to feed your flock, your elect. So in 2 Edges 8:51, and I don't have it here on this phone, so I'm just going to back on my tablet. 2 Edges 8:51. But understand thou for thyself, and seek out the glory for such as be like thee. So again, it's all about the elect. Part of working out our own salvation with fear and trembling. All right. Tending to the Lord's flock. All right. Because you best believe, man, hey, the Lord knows that those that belong to him. The Lord knows that the Lord knows those that belong to him. So, the Lord is watching, man. The Lord is watching. So from here, Lord's willing, 1 Samuel 17. First Samuel 17:34. And David said unto Saul, thy servant kept his father's sheep, and there came a lion and a bear, and took a lamb out of the flock. And I went out to him, and smote him, and delivered it out of his mouth. And when he arose against me, I caught him by his beard, and smote him, and slew him. So, again, in the spirit, all right, the attentiveness towards the Lord's flock, because this was conducted in the flesh, carnally speaking. This is how we got to be toward, in the spirit, attentive to the Lord's flock. All right. And this is why Yahweh Shema Shai really has it out for these so-called leaders in Israel, man, because they're playing with the Lord's flock. All right, they're scattering the Lord's sheep, and that's a dangerous thing. The one account that we got in the scriptures of pretty much Yahweh Shai losing his temper, snapping on Jake, making merchandise of the Lord's people. Because that's one thing the Lord, he don't play about his flock, man. He doesn't play about the little guy. You see? Or his little ones. Ezekiel 34:2, Son of man, prophesy against the shepherds of Israel. Prophesy and say unto them, thus saith the Lord power unto the shepherds. Woe be to the shepherds of Israel that do feed themselves. Should not the shepherds feed the flocks? So you see, a real shepherd, he's supposed to again, Lord willing, being those he goats, was supposed to be attentive to the flock. That's why these videos go up. All right. Again, that's why Yahweh Shemashah, he puts his men through certain trials and tribulations, not just for themselves, so that they can be groomed leaders. All right. They can be miniature shepherds under the shepherd Yahushua and be and attend to the flock, because that's what it's all about. The building and maintaining of the elect, the building up of the elect. You know, every brother is a brick in this third temple, again, which is spiritual. Every brother is a brick. All right. And the scriptures talk about fitly joined. All right. So, again, you know, we brought it out. What was that? Friday. As Friday's camp, man, the brother brought it out about it, like the scriptures talk about, or like brothers was talking about, and as the scriptures talk about, again, being fitly joined, right? Hey, the pinky toe is just as important as the ring finger, you know. The kneecap is just as important as the earlobe, whatever. You know, it may seem insignificant, but everything has its use. It has its purpose. And in this body of Yahweh Shemashai, hey, you know, we all have a purpose. The Lord has us here for a reason. And again, overall, man, it's about the building of this third temple. All right. You know, which of course consists of the men first and foremost. That's who Yahweh Shemashai is dealing with. All right. You know, and overall, again, this is what we're fishing for, the elect. So again, the importance of the elect. This is what it's all about. All right. And like it says in James, here it is. You know, we're praying to Yahweh Shemal Shai as we should. We're praying, crying out to Yahweh Shemal Shai for us, for the Lord to get us up out of here. You know, eagerly waiting. But hey, the Lord's waiting on us. All right. We're waiting on the Lord. Well, he's waiting on us. So we got to get our shit together. In James 5:7, be patient, therefore, brethren, until the coming of the Lord. Behold, the husbandman waiteth for the precious fruit of the earth, and have long patience for it, until he receive the early and latter rain. And as I read in that Luke 15, right, it mentioned that jewel. You know, because every brother is precious. All right. In the eyes of Yahweh Shemal Shai, every elect brother is precious. And no matter the rank, all right, whatever flaw, whatever the case may be, man, Yahweh Shemal Shai, he has his eyes on his elect. And again, we're waiting on the Lord so eagerly and desperately. Well, he's waiting as well. So you talk about our Father's business, you know, where we are about our Father's business. And Yahushua, he was on that same mission. And that lot has been given unto us, extended unto us, starting with the bishops and the elders and all the brothers on down. So this is what it's about. Lord willing, this was edifying. All praises to Yahweh Shema Shai. Shalom to you, hopefully, let.